a lot to be said on the subject of the devil versus God. Now, we're starting out with a pretty deep concept here today, guys, but I promise you, my intention is not to be a religious speaker of any kind. I'm a spiritually based person who believes that many spiritual concepts can be applied to people who aren't very spiritual or are adverse to spirituality, and they can easily understand those concepts and apply them to their life and change their life for the better. I'm a big believer in that. I have been for 2-3 years now with my own understandings and the things I've worked through. And by the way, there's a light right here that's motion censored. It's, it halfway works basically, so if it goes on and off, that's why. Anyways, God versus the devil, right? First of all, let me tell you why this concept it stays relevant in my life, right? Again, I'm not religious. I believe in God. I have a relationship with God. I pray to God, and I make sure that I'm doing right in God's eyes, or my own higher self's eyes, right? And I stay away from the devil to the best that as best as I can, I should say. That's an ongoing battle. That's part of what I want to talk to you about today. You see, I don't think that many understand how simple the devil can be and how simple God can be. Again, my intention here is to help simplify everything for you, maybe being non-religious, non-spiritual, to help you understand a certain set of concepts that could help you benefit your life, or change your life, right? Without going full religion. Because again, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual, right? So to me, when I'm following God, what I'm doing is I'm allowing myself to see the highest version of me, and I'm going after it in a grateful way, right? I'm not forcing things. I'm not saying I have to be different, because that would tie into the devil's work, in my opinion, in a certain way, right? When I'm chasing God, I'm seeing myself as the all-having being of potential, knowing that I will make mistakes, but also knowing that as long as I give it my best effort and I am living in my best image, living in God's image, I will continue to fight for my best life. I will continue to be the best version of me. Will I have setbacks once again? Yes. Will I fall on my face? Will I perhaps fall into the pit of the devils time here or there? Yeah, it's possible. Does that mean I'm a satanic person? Hell no. God, no. You see, I believe that when you accidentally or choosingly, which both happen a lot nowadays for everybody, when you follow the devil, you are simply allowing your own unbecoming. You are simply allowing yourself to fall to a lower version, a lower status version of yourself, by which everything else will continue to follow as well. Chasing the devil is allowing your fleshly body to have its desires that are not based in righteousness, right? Such as the alcohol, the 7 deadly sins, essentially, right? And you're allowing yourself to fall in the pits of gluttony, of lust, or any of the other ones, right? When you're chasing these lower desires, these versions of yourself that are pretty ugly in certain ways, they're incredibly, greedy, right? Greed, right? Greed of any of the major 7 deadly sins, the nasty emotions like that, the nasty desires. That is following the devil. Now, if you do that at all, are you like a satanic person? You should go to hell? No. I have my own battle with all of that. I'm not perfect. No, I don't. I believe that following God is never to say that you're perfect. It's actually to accept that you have plenty of wrongdoings. It's actually to accept that there are going to be times where the devil calls your name and you might listen a little bit. Does that mean you're a satanic person, you're going to hell? No. It means that you're human and that you make mistakes. And it is our process of becoming the best version of ourselves where we figure out how to discern one between the other. One between the devil's talking and one between God's talking. Which one do we listen to? Which one do we feed? Right? This is the lifelong process of becoming. But to say that, someone sinned for at some point in their life they're going to hell, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in it. You see, because for me, another part of this for me, and again, I haven't dived into the religious text just yet in my life to learn. But to me, heaven or hell is a place on earth. Excuse me. Sorry, y'all. I believe that heaven or hell is a place on earth. I believe that you either live in heaven now, or you live in hell now. And it's based upon what you're following and listening to. Hear me out. The man who has some things early on in life, he has a family, he has a good job, but he hates the job ultimately. It pays good, but he hates it. And he falls into alcoholism, right? It's just a few drinks here and there now at first, with friends, so on and so forth. But before you know it, it becomes every weekend. Then it's every day, right? Next thing you know, his relationship's not as great as where it used to be. But the drinking still is. He's still listening to that devil voice telling him to go to the bar every weekend, or every night, I should say. Next thing you know, his relationship's is a very ugly place. Maybe his relationship with his kids in an ugly place as well. He finds more pity in that. He finds more self-destructive efforts from that. You know what he does? He goes and finds a whore. Or excuse my language. He goes and finds, someone else other than his wife, someone else other than his children to go put his energy into. He falls into this pit, right? He falls into this pit. And then his wife finds out the relationship's in shambles. Everything continues to fall apart. Then he loses his job. The whole time he's telling himself, man, poor me. Poor me. Why is this happening to me? I've always done so much. Poor me. Well, it's not just one thing fixes the whole game. It's a continuous process, right? So that man, you can see, that man falls into this hole and he feels pity for himself. What's worse than that? What's worse than that? To lose everything based on your own selfish desires. Based on your own selfish desires, you throw everything away. That is hell, right? And then you can't even see through it. You feel pity in it. You feel powerless. You feel that the devil, the God did you in. And that is the devil, my friend. That is hell. That is hell. That is the depths of hell. And it's, of course, 1,000 times worse situations. But for this very scenario, you can understand that that will be hellacious compared to maybe he starts drinking and he realizes that what it's doing to his life. He realizes that there's certain things about drinking that he doesn't like, that he needs to keep at bay, right? He listens to God. He listens to his higher self when it says, hey, dude, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't go out for another time this week. Maybe you shouldn't go out this month. Maybe you should actually just give it a break for some time and come back to it if you want to. And this man listens to that, and then he listens to his wife more. Him and his wife coagulate, have a great relationship. And his kids, the same thing. And so this man is living a purposeful life. Maybe he hates his job at first, but he continues down the path and something falls in his lap because he's grateful. That serves his higher purpose, that serves his higher understanding of life. It gives him a greater sense of himself in his work. And he continues to grow and develop. That would be heaven. That is heaven. Living in that constant state of growth and development and appreciation, gratitude, prosperity. Is everything absolutely perfect? Is he the richest man in the world? No, he doesn't have to be. He has love, he has growth, he has development, he has himself and his family, he has his kingdom. He's fostering himself within God's eyes. He's living in God's kingdom. Because he knows when to take his ego, and he knows how to tame his ego. He knows how to control himself. And he accepts his wrongdoings. He accepts when maybe he made some mistakes at some point, and he can turn back around and go the right way. That's heaven versus hell. See what I mean? So, this might be a series. Let me know what you guys think below. This stuff is on my mind constantly because we all have our own battle. I love you guys. Have an amazing day. You hear that, Tweety Bird? He's having an amazing day too. Let's go.